Hello and good morning. It's 9:30 in the morning here. Sun is shining and I'm dressed and ready to go outside and tidy up my yard a little bit. I recently mowed my lawn and I can't believe how good it looks. I'm really amazed and exhausted myself because of course I haven't been doing much all winter, and now that the snow's gone I've been outside pruning and trimming and raking and digging and hauling bags of yard waste to the curb, and got quite exhausted. I'm still taking 25 milligrams of sertraline a day, and I am now taking a high dose of omega-3 EPA every day, the one a day one by Weber. I think it's 900 total milligrams, 600 of EPA. And I'm taking vitamin D as well. I'm taking a mitt full of vitamins every day. I most recently colored my hair with Revlon 80. That's a light ash blonde. And that's what I got. It's pretty good. I didn't use the 20 vol that comes with it. I used 10 vol because I don't want to risk affecting permanently my 4 inches of regrowth. It's a little bit too light, like the 70, what is this? This is 80. The 70 would have been better, but I couldn't get that. So I've also got a 61 Color Silk Dark Blonde, so I thought next time I'll go half 60 and half 81, and then maybe I'll kind of get a 70 by mixing them. We'll see what that does. And I gave myself a trim and I'm quite happy with that. An inch shorter, looks healthier. I'm slowly growing out the dyed portion of my hair and this looks pretty natural. So that's good. And I've been thinking about women's friendships and how I can't seem to make any friends. I was in Victoria for 8 years and I made a friend, a woman friend. We had fun going out dancing and drinking and dining and stuff and chatting, house parties, etc. For about a year and a half, I guess. That friendship soured. We both chose to end it, and I haven't had any friends since. I try to make them, never works out. I guess, that first lady, she was trying to do me a favor. I was like a pet project for her. So, and I thought as I got better, as I got stronger, more healed or whatever, that I would be a more appealing prospect as a friend. But nobody ever wants to keep in touch, or nobody ever writes to say, how are you doing, or how's it going, or excited to hear updates from my life. So that's sad for me, and it makes me scared to go out and try, because I know that they're not going to be happy with me in the end, and that's that. So save myself the pain. You can't be so needy. Nobody wants to be needed that much. It makes you an unattractive prospect, both for friends and partners, romantic partners. Nobody wants a pet project unless they have an ego and they're, or they're a goody two-shoes and they want to make brownie points with their church or something. Or, or they want to feel superior because, so they pick somebody who's lesser. So where do I go to make friends, or do I need them? Do friends suck? Is that what I'm learning here? Like, friends are only for healthy people, and I'm not a healthy people, so I don't get any, and I'm just like toxic to anybody who's looking for a friend, but it just seems like nobody's looking for a friend. That's what's bothering me this morning. So I thought I'd make this little video and just talk to my imaginary YouTube friends. So at least I can talk and that somebody will hear it somewhere, sometime. I feel a lot like Chris McCandless some of the time out there in his hippie bus in the woods, and how as he gets more and more starved, he understands that it wasn't all in the first place. It wasn't all about freedom or getting out into nature and getting rid of the modern trappings. It's about the people in your life, and that without any people in your life has no meaning and no worth. Sometimes I think like, well, I know there are still a couple of people who give a darn. So I live for them. If they weren't around, would I live for me? Is that even worth it? Like, this is a really esoteric question. If a tree falls in the forest, basically, if a woman mows her lawn and there's nobody for her to tell, does she still mow a lawn? Does she still exist? They say loneliness can take years off your life. Maybe that's for the best. How many years am I gonna live? Maybe I should go back up to the 50 milligram sertraline because I'm feeling sad, but you're supposed to be able to feel sad, and I'm justifiably sad. I have just reason to feel sad. And then you think, well, should I artificially augment my mood? Like, is that even right to feel happy? I don't know. I think I'm feeling a little too introspective right now, and I should go out and mow those last little sections of lawn that I missed and rake that up and then come back in, and I'll probably feel better then. Exercise, right? I'm back in from outside, and it's after 12, and I deservedly have a beer because I've been doing some more yard work, some more mowing, some more raking, some more bagging of dried grass and leaves and twigs, and measuring of my property and moving some dirt around and shaking dirt off grass roots and moving slabs of stone around. So my hands are getting sore of this motion. In fact, I was having tendonitis in my forearms in bed last night and the night before. And last night I put some Voltaren on, and I could really feel it working. It really helps. The extra strength one. I just slather on as much as I can lather onto my arms and let it soak in. And I can actually feel that, the relief. I also used a hot water bottle on my arm last night, but does anybody care about that? So measuring my property today, I found my corner points. I had been looking into getting it surveyed, but it costs in the thousands rather than a couple of hundred like I thought it would, so I'm not going to do that. I want to put up a fence, and I found out that this property is not straight, and that my shed is 3/4 on the neighbor's plot. So what do I do about that? I can't exactly move the shed. So I reckon nobody knows about that, obviously, and probably won't be any fuss if I put up my fence where everybody thinks the property line is. The only other thing I could do would be to hire some demolition guys to come and get rid of my shed. And then there's also another raised flower bed that is also crossing the borderline. I would have to move that or build the fence partway through it. I don't know. It's all so psycho. This piece of land was staked out in 1920, and there were never any corner posts on the back, only on the front, wooden ones, which are now well gone, long gone. And in fact, my front corner is on the driveway, like in the gravel. I couldn't even stick a peg in there because it's gravel. But I marked it with rocks so that I know at least where the corner of my plot is. I won't bring my fence all the way to the end of the drive, just part way out, just to demarcate which is my kingdom, because this is my little kingdom. And I am feeling better. I was still feeling pretty moody while I was outside. Disappointed that the garbage men didn't take my 9 bags of dried grass and leaves. I didn't know whether they would or not, so I put it out in clear bags, clear blue bags to see, like a test, and they didn't touch it. So I called the district office and found out that people take it up to the dump themselves. I assume they all have pickup trucks. I do not. I have a 4-door sedan. Or they burn it. Well, I don't have anywhere in my yard where I'm willing to burn dried grass and leaves. It's a small yard, and I don't want to devote a chunk of it to fire pit. So I spoke to the fire department, as she was the one who recommended that I remove all the 3-foot long overgrown grass from around the edges of my house and trim back the trees that are overhanging. And I did all that, and I've now got giant branches in front of my house. So they are trying to pin down a chipper truck to come around. And she said that they would make sure all of that stuff is taken away for me, because they want to help out the folks who are doing the work to get rid of the dry fire starter in the neighborhood. And that's what I've been doing. I have been mowing and raking, and my grass was, anywhere from 6 inches to 2 feet tall. So I had a lot of grass to chop down and get rid of. I got 10 bags of dry material now in front of my house. And I don't really want to put it in my trunk because there's a lot of poo around here too, and some of those bags have been sitting in it, and I don't want that in my trunk. So anyway, beer 30, feeling a bit better, feeling kind of tired, but feeling like I can cope. Physical labor, nothing like it to make you feel like you can cope. Unless you couldn't do it, but at least you tried, and you did some of it, right? As long as you can do some of it, then you're pedal to the metal.